Okay, we're gonna get into it right away. I was just about to, I was channeling to myself out loud, and I was just about to do a reading, and then I was like, you know what, let me turn on the camera, because you gotta start someplace with all of this. And so the cards at the beginning were really sticky. In the midst of my shuffling, and to me that sort of means that I'm not grounded yet. And I was saying, wow, this is kind of crazy, because when I'm tuned in, even like the way that I shuffle the cards and the ease that's coming to me means I'm in a good place with my mind and my body, right? And as I put the camera on, I'm struggling a little bit, but I think this is an important piece to what it means to sort of get to this place of tuning in. All right. So, typically I just deal with whatever decks I feel like. Right now I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. I am using the Wisdom of the Oracle. And then I'll also be using a new one that I got, which is The Power of Surrender. It looks like so far me interacting with it has felt really, really good. So, for me, I think I'm just called in this time to sort of begin to channel some things and share. I have a hard time sharing. I'm a very insular person. I like to sort of mind my business, but, minding your business, if you're anything like me, means that you stay in your head a lot. And staying in your head a lot can be a challenge because, you don't get an outside perspective. A lot of us lean into the esoterics to be our outside perspective, but I think I'm called to share a lot on Earth in this lifetime, and so this is me stepping into that. I can't do the performance that some of the platforms require. I'm not into it, and I'm stepping into life right now, understanding how to share my gifts and honor the fact that I'm also just not into it. So, this is me. I do the readings for myself. My name is Suburbia. I do these readings for myself, and I download some shit. I am learning about tarot. I prefer oracle cards, but I really like reading the Light Seers perspectives. So this is the first tarot deck that sort of has stuck for me. That's not too many. This is the first tarot deck that has stuck for me. I usually like to pick 3 cards from each of them. But that might change, I don't know. But anyways, yes, this is the tarot that stuck with me. And so I like to just learn tarot through this deck and this guidebook. Oracle cards are where it's at for me. Because I am a seer and a visionary. I spend a lot of time in contemplation in my mind. And the contemplation that goes on in my mind, there's some rich downloads. I can't even lie. I cannot even lie. There's some rich downloads. And so, I think the way that I interact with the cards, I want one more, please. This one. Oh, there is one. Wow, there is one. Look at that. Alright, yeah, so the way that I interact with the cards sort of allows for me to get to a different level when I am sort of channeling some things and hemming and hawing on some things. Okay, so we have the Empress. What the fuck number is that? 3. This is a bit embarrassing, but I'm going to go through it because I think it's important to just record these until I get comfortable. It's in reverse. Infertility, emotional overwhelm, shutting down, the need for self-care, disharmony, negligence, being materialistic, being overprotective of your creations, being overly dependent on others. Right away, I'm currently, I need some self-care. I need to take care of myself. I need to check in with myself and sort of be like, what is working right now? Do you need to reset? What ways do you need to reset? I know I need to reset. That's the thing about the fall time for me ever since youth, and I think that's because of the programming, a little bit because of the programming of like having to go to school in September, but I think it's also just about it's about having to reset. It's about having to reset. And the fall is that reset period. All the leaves are falling. It's a reset. It's a preparation for having winter come in and do what winter does, and winter keeps you there in it. Yeah. That's coming in real hard right now. So I need a reset. I need to do some self-care. And that self-care is the preparation for the reset. I think some people are feeling like this is not... I was talking to a friend the other day who said this is not a fun summer. I just have to accept that this is not a fun summer. This is the summer where shit is getting done. Realizations are happening. And with it being a summer where realizations are happening, you can't be in your old paradigm and be partying and hot girl summer, hot boy summer, whatever. You can't be in that. You're doing some paradigm shifting fucking work. You don't have the energy to be in that. So this is real. This is coming in real for me. This piece around self-care. Negligence, being materialistic. I think, being overprotective of your creations is real. Being so overprotective of our creations that we don't put them out. I create and I don't put things out. This is me stepping into that. So I'm already, just the cards will show me the energy that I'm already in. I'm being negligent, checking yourself on the ways of being negligent. I know that I have some, reset things to do in my life right now. I think that we all do. A lot of us feel like, fuck, okay, well, I got some shit to do now. I got to sort of look at myself and be like, what am I working towards? What's happening for me? What's going on in my life? What needs attention? What am I neglecting? What doesn't feel good anymore? What do I need to deprogram from? Like, if you're there, you're there, and you're seeing that. So, yeah, this is real. Being overprotective of your creations, not putting things out into the world. I'm struggling with that right now. This is me stepping into that, and I implore others to do the same, and then being overly dependent on others. And that could be like, for me, that really shouts at like being overly dependent on an institution or something to prop you up or something to support you. I recently just left a job that I had to leave. I had to leave this job. I'm getting thirsty. But I had to leave this job because I was just like, yo, this is not sustainable. Working for other people, having other people control my life, having other people control my day. And there are things in motion in my life right now that would allow me to step away from that job. So like, what am I clinging to? Having this institution prop me up so that I can feel like, oh, within these confinements, within this restriction, I feel good because I feel safe. But I also feel limited, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of possibility in there for me. So what do I do? Where do I move? So that's fucking real. So it might not be dependent upon others, in your own life, but it could be dependent upon, dependent on institutions, routines, spaces that you're fucking just used to being in, the club, whatever it is, whatever the thing is. You're just too dependent on it. You're too dependent on what that external thing gives you. And you can be a lot more in tune with yourself. We can be. I don't even want to be prescriptive. I can be more in tune with myself. And so I'm trying to do those things. I'm trying to make those steps, and that's hard. Not depending on others is hard. Because sometimes, we really got to channel that inner strength to know we have it. It's not about being hyper independent. I strongly believe in interdependence. We are connecting beings. We are connected to one another. We have to be dependent. We just don't have to be codependent. We don't have to be dependent in a toxic way, or overly is the language that is used here. So just thinking about that. Fuck, that card's real, and that's only one card in. I want to not keep this too long, but I don't know. They might just have to be me just sharing my downloads. Queen of Pentacles. I've been getting this card in reverse. It's interesting that I've had some conversations recently that, might have been shifting my perspective, and that could call for the flip so soon, because I've been getting it in reverse for a few weeks. which was just like financial stress, being self-absorbed, smothering, helicopter parenting, overindulgence, imbalance, materialism. Yeah, all vibrations I was in 2-3 weeks ago. I'm really trying to untether right now. So I hear and see and feel anybody who's trying to get out of that tethered place. Yeah, a healer, a working parent, a self-made person, material wealth and abundance, strength in family and community, a kind, nurturing heart, groundedness, being down to earth, generosity. Groundedness. I was just outside in the backyard, looking at trees, and I was just amazed, marveled at the fact that these things grow in one spot. This is like me thinking about, all the things I have to do. I was just like, busy minded this morning. And I just looked at the tree and I'm like, yo, this thing grows in one spot, spreads, movement, things are happening always to the trees. And they're there. How can I channel that? How can I be more like the trees? Go look at a tree. After this, pause the video, whatever you gotta do, go look at the tree. Go look at a tree. Trust me. I'm starting to get more comfortable already, because this is wild to me in real time that I am getting more comfortable already, because I know that I'm tapping into something right now. I'm tapping into something right now. And I'm walking with Spirit, so thank you, Spirit. Yeah, a healer. We are healers. And so, that other thing about being too overly dependent, it's like when you're a healer, you can't be in those spaces. You can't be in the club like that. You can't be at a job you hate like that. You can't be around people you can't stand like that. You start to feel itchy in your skin. You start to feel like, fuck, I'm going back to the old ways. Those aren't helping. What am I doing? Where am I? I feel that. I have felt that. And I've been doing some work over the past couple of weeks to sort of, think really about this. Why am I being so stressed about, following my goals? Why am I so stressed about utilizing the evidence within me that Spirit is showing me that I have something, that I am something, that there is purpose in everything I do? A healer knows. A self-made person. To be self-made, sorry, I'm gleeking. But self-made person, building yourself up. Tying back into this energy of I think the overdependence thing is standing out to me, because it doesn't have to just be a person, a place. It could be a way of thinking, man. It could be a way of thinking. It could be an ideology. It could be a tradition. It can be anything. But yeah, being self-made is to deviate from that. What does it mean to deviate from that? To come out of old programming and be able to be like, okay, there is more to me and I don't have access to that yet, but I'm going to seek the things that will help me build that. That is what it means to be self-made. No one is made alone. When we think about that physical form, but we're thinking beyond the physical. And so if you're thinking beyond the physical, it means to be self-made, to inquire, to be curious about possibilities in your life. Yeah, material wealth and abundance comes in that manner. Listen, I was thinking about celebrity this morning. I was thinking about celebrity. I was thinking about notoriety. I was thinking about all these things. Fame, what it means to have a platform, all those things. And art specifically. And just feeling like, yo, why does the wealth and the materialism have to exist in that kind of way? Why is it? Yeah, why? Why do you need a Grammy? if you make music, and I'm somebody who makes music and wants to really try to put my energy into what I channel with my voice. If you paint, why do you need to be in a gallery? I'm trying to figure that out right now. What does it mean for things to be seen? Like, can the abundance come to you for what you create in other ways? Me and my friends are always talking about a free market right now. This idea that things are a free market. Because I had somebody teach me that a long time ago, that like this is an era of a free market where people are feeling like they have to sort of awaken to the fact that like we have things and the world is changing because there's so much going on. There's so much recognition of all the things that we have, good and bad, you know, light and dark. So it's a free market. Paradigm shifts are happening. Go listen to Thames Crazy Things. 3 of Pentacles. I'm not too with the tarot programming necessarily. And when I say programming, I just mean that like my brain really struggles to be able to memorize what meaning things hold. Because things hold different meanings. The meanings shift. Especially when you're channeling, downloading things, when you're adding a perspective, when you have a lens, when you have something to offer to something, when you're co-mingling and coexisting with something, all the things. It's hard. It's hard for me to stay regimented in the brain, clearly, with the way that I speak and I navigate channeling. Hopefully that, you know, resonates with some people, and if it don't, it don't. 3 of Pentacles. Difficulty working with others, a need to listen, selfishness, pushing your own agenda, not trusting your partner's ability, ego clash. That is real. I just read either the Light Seer or the Shadow Seer. The way that this deck is organized, I really love it. I don't really dive into like this 3 of Pentacles means. It's more, give me the energy. Give me the energy. I love this. Yeah, so difficulty working with others, a need to listen, selfishness, pushing your own agenda, not trusting your partner's ability. I feel all sorts of call out sometimes, but it's like, yeah, I do have a hard time working with others. You know, what's coming up for me with this is sort of like, how can I, you know, coexist in the world to be more abundant and not just be like, okay, gotta put my head down. How can I do this myself? How can I build the capital to have the thing happen? How can I? And I don't really have a lot of, so like, we're collaborating. I can go to this person and be like, yo, so like, what are we gonna, so about this thing that we're doing together, how are we gonna, that's community, you know, this in the light, the first explanation here is saying cooperation and community. So yeah, we're just not operating from that place. I'm not. I need to. And this is a good gut check and a reminder of that. And balancing that overly dependence. So like, if you shift from institution, here it's clicking for me. If you are shifting from institution to working out in the world with yourself within your light and not having to work for another institution, or an institution which dims your light and uses a fraction of it to get their work done, to promote their agenda, because that's what institutions do. So if you are outside of that or stepping outside of that, you can't do that solo. Yes, you have your idea. Yes, you have to birth your idea. Yes, you have to put in the energy, the work, what I'm doing right now, channeling my energy into what I say I want to be doing. But I also have to let people know I'm doing that. This is what I'm doing right now. I have to also let, you know, people in my community know that I'm interested in something, or that I see a way that I can contribute to something or collaborate with someone or do something. And so this is like difficulty working with others. Like, that's not even something you're thinking about. Or if you are doing it actively, you feel really challenged by it. But it's an opportunity. And it's an opportunity because maybe you're challenged by it because you're pushing your own agenda. You know, I think about collaboration. Collaboration has always been hard for me. From a safety, I have tried to be like, well, I'm going to do it myself because I don't want. So just sending out the signals of what I don't want. This was also a reading I watched by Queen Cup. Talked about this energy of like putting out what you don't want. Well, put out what you want. That's real. So pushing your own agenda sometimes, for me, that energy could be like, because I don't want things to go this way, I'm gonna do it myself, or if I'm working in a group, oh, I really want the outcome to be this on the low. So like, how can I to get what I want? Nah, can't work like that no more. Trusting other people's abilities, ego clashing. That's real. Yeah, that's real. So I like engaging with the tarot for that reason, because it just gets me going like that. 3 of these. I don't want to do this too long, so I'm really loving the energy that I'm vibing with, and I want to get back to my day. Whoo! They're flying. They're flying. They're flying. Gave me 3 up front, so I'll take them. They're giving me 3 up front. No Place Like Home, The Fates, Unfinished Symphony. Right away, No Place Like Home is this energy of like being grounded and rooted, like the tree. This card right here, it's got like this, the glare is crazy, but it's rooted. It's rooted. Be like the trees. Period. Be like the trees. Build that foundation internally. I am trying so hard to work at that. Build that foundation internally. It's hard. Whew. Because you want it to be a good home. There's no place like it. It's a beautiful place within. There's no place like it. There's no worldly place like it. There's no institution like it. There's no place like it. There's nobody like you. There's no life like yours. You don't have to aspire to have a life like anyone else. Because there is no place like home. Whew. I love that. The Fates. Manifesting energy is sort of like, it's fated. You will it. You move towards it. And it's like, man, like when you land at a place, you're like, man, this was fate. I'm supposed to be here. But then you really need to connect to like, no, I was putting in, landed. Oh, I want something else. I will fate it to happen. I will will it to happen. I will speak it upon my life. I will move in such a way that reflects that I want this, that I believe this. And I will be fateful. Fate will happen. Faithful, yeah, but fateful. My life will be built upon all the evidence that I have had faith, and these things were supposed to happen in divine time, not according to my time, because my time is ego time a lot of the time. Ego clashing was this one. Ego clashing. So that's real. Unfinished Symphony. What's sitting that hasn't been tapped into in a long time? What hasn't been tapped into? My ability to share hasn't been tapped into in too long. That's what I'm taking steps towards right now. But yeah, there are things that are unfinished. Tie them up. And tying them up is whatever they're supposed to look like. Settling on some place to get to the next place for a second. Accepting things, like finishing that up. Not leaving things raw. That's the energy that I feel. That's really resonating with me. And revisiting the things, like picking those things back up, picking back up the project that you thought was a great idea, and then life talked you out of it. The Matrix talked you out of thinking that was a good idea, or the Matrix sucked so much of your energy that you couldn't even breathe life or anything into this idea anymore, so you just parked it. Go back. See if you got a little bit that you can give to it. Give it some juice by untethering, by not doing that depending so much, by being like, yo, home is being built. I have faith in it. It is fated. Yeah, dip back into that because there's something there. There's always something there. All right. Let me get into this for a second. I can't remember if I got this one shuffled or not, but I'm gonna just, because the surrendering is real, and these ones really serve as a reminder of what to surrender to. Surrender the drama. Don't seek it because life is boring right now. Don't do that. Sometimes I can feel myself really like, oh man, like I'm bored. Could use something. You're looking for drama. Don't do it. Surrender your fear of intimacy with a call out. Gotta get close to those in your life and really be intimate. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. I was just thinking about this morning. Let me get into this. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. More quickly. Listen, I'm in the midst now. There's energies around that are bothering me now. You might resonate. Don't do it. Because if you give an iota, ounce, whatever the word is, of energy to that, you're giving it something. You're fueling it. It's a real humbling not to go there. Because we like to be like, oh, yo, I don't want to have to go there, but if I gotta go there, don't have that energy. Don't go there. It's a waste of your fucking energy. Don't do that. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Settle into the home energy so that you can surrender this. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Listen, receiving love is hard because we're scared. Fear of intimacy. We're scared of being close. We're scared of being seen. We want to be seen so bad, and on the other hand, we're so scared of being seen. You can't have it both ways. Step into wanting to be seen. Because there's a light inside of you that needs to be seen, needs to be nourished, needs to be uplifted, all those things. And your fear of intimacy will get in the way of that. Mine is testing me on the daily. Listen, when you're in relationships, whether those romantic, platonic, familial, doesn't matter. Relationship with yourself. Be intimate. It's hard. But like it says, you have to compassionately identify it. So be like, okay, I see I'm really struggling with this thing. Have compassion for yourself. Don't hate on yourself for it. Don't beat yourself up for it. It doesn't help. Be compassionate. Be like, I struggle with communicating when I'm sad or when I have a need. Let's pick that. It's easier. When I have a need, I don't convey it. It's hard for me to convey my needs. Okay. Release it though. Does the person asking you, engaging with you, talking to you, your mother, your father, your partner, your lover, whatever, are they coming to you and being like, yo, I just want to know? I mean, if there's hostility, it makes sense why you're afraid. But if you are in a safe space where you internally feel like you can let love in because you know you want it, identify where it's hard for you to convey that you need it. Start to release those things associated with it so that you can do it. Ask for help from the people in your life that love you, because your heart can open. And then surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Listen, anybody told you anything about yourself to believe anything about yourself that you recognize coming up in your brain and your judgments of yourself, release that. It's hard. For me, it shows up in my body. Growing up with a body that was judged a lot really has me thinking like I'm not, whatever out in the world. The Matrix stuff. It's limiting. It's limiting. Or thinking that I can't do something. Limiting. Who told me that? I tell myself that now, but there probably was a voice before that told me that, and then I believed that, and then I told myself that. has to go. They originate from the past. They originate from old paradigms. People I'm no longer associated with. It's gotta go. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Boom. That was it. I wanted to come on and share. Hope it helps somebody. I'll do this again.